Going to the boat.
Going to Pegasus.
Another weekend on the boat today. Very excited, boys. Excited?
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
What are you looking forward to, boys?
Seeing some friends.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's going to be awesome.
Where are we going to see friends? Where are we going to meet them?
Refuge Bay.
Refuge Bay.
Yeah. America Bay.
And what have we got on tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon. Sail away
Oh, sail away.
with the Coastal Cruising Club of Australia. CCCA.
Should be fun.
We've just left Homeport Marina, just left the fuel dock. It was a relatively quick turnaround compared to normal for us. Fill up one of our water tanks, load on all of the things for the weekend, and we're about to head out now into Pittwater. There's a northerly blowing at the moment, 15 knots, gusting up to 20 apparently, so looks like it might be a little bit up and down, but we've got the head sail ready to hoist, and our Genoa is on a furler, so that's really easy to deploy when we need it. So it's just about getting around Scotland Island, which is now in between us and the breeze, and we'll see what we've got out in the bay, and hopefully sails up and get to America Bay nice and quickly so that we've got some light when we get there, and we're looking forward to meeting up with our mates.
We are still sailing like a beauty.
How's the captain?
Hello. Yeah, quite good. Just motored out of Pittwater straight into the breeze. Slightly slow going. It would have taken us a long time to sail, tacking up and down Pittwater, so we just put the donk on. But we've just turned left and are heading now down into Cowan Creek to America Bay with the head sail up, and we are going as fast now as we were with the motor on, which is always nice. Look at our path. I started recording our track there, so that shows us in red our track.
And what is that? What does it tell you?
The speed of the wind that's running into its fan.
Ah, perfect. What is the current speed of the wind
100.
without you blowing?
Well, I'm not. It's around a big snap of us. So we're going at 6 knots, and the wind from this is around 4 knots. And we're going 4 knots. So we're going just as fast as the wind. There we have Archer the red boat. Hey,
What's for dinner, guys?
some bow tie pasta and some swirly pasta with mince.
Delish. Oh,
Good.
nicely in the bag.
Archer, take us to reefing hopper.
Gets us there.
Hey, I can't see.
There we go. Bit of nighttime driving. Going to see our mates.
Hey guys, I can't see the camera. But now I can see the camera anymore.
Steph's playing in the background here, and we're just sitting after a lovely evening. We went over to see our mates who are moored here in Refuge Bay with us, America Bay, and we are just having a last little drink before we go to bed. The kids are in bed. There's a fantastic houseboat who are playing the most ridiculous drinking games, and we are trying very hard to work out what the rules are. but it's not that easy. There's a whole lot of chanting and stuff, but anyway, yeah, we're having a beautiful evening.
Oh, that's better. That's more bluesy. Which do you think is better? Or let me try that again. Which is better? Or
Oh, I like the second one.
oh, that's because it's more bluesy.
Yeah.
Refuge Bay is one of our favourite places to visit. It is protected from the wind, which makes it beautiful in the mornings. It also has an awesome waterfall, which we have climbed up before and had lots of fun.
Morning.
Oh.
So we have just left our mooring at America Bay, Refuge Bay, where we were overnight, and the plan is now to head around the headland and go to Cottage Point and go to the little cafe at Cottage Point for breakfast, which should be absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to it. It's a beautiful morning, my goodness. No swims yet, but hoping that that may happen a little bit later. There's Cottage Point. So this is where we're going. This is just ahead of us, where all those boats are. That's where we're going for breakfast.
It's very weird.
That's what says about our MFD chart plotter. They make pay $200 for all stars. But it should be pretty reliable.
Just leaving Cottage Point now, having just had a lovely breakfast, and we tried to get fuel for the tender, but their card machine wasn't working at the yacht club there, so that was a bit disappointing. But thankfully we met some really friendly fellow sailors on the wharf there, and they lent us, well, they gave us a bit of their fuel to at least get us on our tender back to Pegasus. Steph's now at the front getting the anchor ready, because we're going to cruise across to Hallett's beach. Steph's gone over to say hi to our mates who've just pulled up behind us at Hallett's beach. The boys on board apparently playing up a storm. So I think Steph's just gone over to check in to make sure that everything's good over there. You can see Heath on the end. I don't know if you can see that. I wonder if I can zoom in. He's on the end there chatting to Dad now. So the boys had a ride in that beautiful boat from Cottage Point to here. So we're just coming into Smith's Creek now. We're going to go in and find a mooring for the night. Hopefully there is a mooring available. If not, we may have to try our hand at anchoring and seeing if there is a good spot. We have just been told that it's quite deep, so yeah, hopefully we have enough anchor chain if we need to anchor.
Later on Saturday afternoon, we arrived in Smith's Creek. We had never been here before and it was very beautiful. Luckily, our buddies on Archer had arrived before us and had held into a mooring for us, so we didn't have to anchor.
Ask Jack. It's Jade mounted up.
What are you listening to?
Trouble Twisters too.
Do you love listening to audiobooks on the boat?
Made it to the platform with bare seconds to spare.
Come on.
Later we had the guys from Archer over to our boat for a play, and it was so much fun.
Can you have 1 or 2 bags? Hey, morning boys. How are your pancakes this morning?
Wow, they're really good.
Fantastic. What have you got on them?
Got yogurt and strawberries.
Oh, yum. Dad pancakes. How delicious.
And so you put the reef in the sail because it makes the sails basically smaller. There's less sail area exposed to the wind. So there's less power in the sails. And less power in the sails means that the boat doesn't get heeled over as much.
Right.
So we are now leaving Smiths Creek. We had a pretty quiet night until it started raining, and it rained heavily this morning. Did a few jobs on the boat, had lots of coffees, still pretty miserable weather. The forecast, southerly breeze is blowing, although we can't feel it where we are now because we're quite protected. But there's a lot of wind around, so I think as soon as we pop out into slightly clearer areas, we're going to get a lot of breeze. Ready to do some sailing. Checked all the reefs this morning in the main, so it looks like we can take 1 and 2 reefs pretty easily. And yeah, off to Pittwater again for dinner this evening with mates, and lively little mini passage between here and there for the next 2 hours, I reckon.
Yeah. Good.
Anything else to add, babe?
Nothing else to add. It's pretty wet and miserable, but the boys are cozily in the cabins listening to audiobooks, and well, Finn's listening to an audiobook, Heath's listening to a CD, old school, and yeah, here we go.
We know we've got some breeze coming up soon, so it's probably the smart thing to do is to put on a life jacket. Safety first and all that.
Just making some lunch while we are on the go, which is never fun because it's quite sort of rocky and rolly out there. So we're holding on for dear life. But here you can see making rolls and wraps, the sandwiches, etc. While Steph's up at the helm and the boys are in the front cabin busy reading books, I think, or some magazines they found. So here we go. I'm going to concentrate a bit because I think the sails are going up. So I think we're about to go probably heel 2 quite significantly.
So we've come through into a slightly wider section of Cowan Creek where there's a bit more space, and so the wind is a bit more settled here. We're not seeing much wind. I mean, we're probably going at about 4, maybe 5 knots now. 11 knots behind us, so it looks to me, if I look at the water, like maybe it's 14 or 15 knots, something like that. I can see there's quite a bit more up ahead. We're quite deep in Cowan Creek, and I can see that there's a swell rolling in here already. Nothing hectic, but it does mean that there's going to be a big swell up at the top. So it's still going to be interesting, I guess. Got the Genoa all the way out, got 2 reefs in the main, just to be safe, because I know we're going to get big breeze up at the top. So we're kind of prepared for that. Smooth going now. Happy days. Yeah, here it comes.
So our mate's coming up behind. Gosh, they're so fast.
Not a race.
It's not a race unless you're winning.
Unless, yeah. What's a race right now while we're in the lead?
Exactly. Oh man.
So now it's not a race anymore. Just like that.
Just like that.
So we had a bit of trouble getting the sails down. It was very windy. Me and Heath are sitting just here. All the books fell on us. Here, some other stuff fell off the table. Our food nearly fell off. Okay, that's enough. And our carts got messed up. So, that's what happens when you try to put the sails down in a windy weather. Now we're motoring, sails are down. We're all good now.
So exactly what we thought. Lots more wind at the top of the bay. As we came in to the top section of the bay, we got 20 knots maybe, and even with 2 reefs in the main, it's and a full genoa. I mean, we got screwed up completely into the breeze. So we've just taken the sails down. About 3 minutes before we needed to do that, Kath and I had just spoken through the procedure that we'd need to go through if we did suddenly hit lots of breeze. And then sure enough, 3 minutes later, we're following exactly those steps, which was engine on first, up into the breeze, point the nose of the boat to the breeze, fill the genoa, drop the mainsail, and that's what we did, and off we are again. Yeah. Yeah. Then you'd want to come and sail out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, big time. You know, those America's Cup boats, this wind would really be too strong for those boats probably. I don't even know if they have a sail configuration that would allow them to sail in. What do we got now? Easily 20 knots.
Boat schooling. Just getting the homework done for tomorrow.
And then it was time for us to have a farewell dinner with our friends from Archer, who had made plans to head off the next day up the coast. It's been really fun getting to know these guys in Sydney, and we're going to miss them. But we've made some exciting plans to meet up with them further on in their travels, and we're really looking forward to that. For anyone who doesn't know the Sailing Family, they are on Instagram and YouTube and release regular awesome videos about their travels around the world on their red sailing machine Archer.
Nice one, boy.
That's cool.
See you guys somewhere more.
Yes, exactly.